Hello everyone, are you ready for today's video? We are going with the illustrious Gigan. Gigan is cool, Gigan is fun, I don't use mine enough. It is a goofy looking support that has wheels for some reason. Because someone decided that that was a good design for a mobile suit. I think it is hideous, but it's got a Gatling gun on one arm, it's got a machine gun in that turret somewhere, and it's got that turret, which is like a tank cannon. 120 millimeter... Oh, that's the Gatling gun. Oh, I switched back to... Okay, 180 millimeter cannon. It's a 180 millimeter cannon. Which is cool. And you know what's really interesting about this suit, too? It has balancers for some reason. I don't know why, but I can boost into melee with it. I will never understand why it has balancers. It is the weirdest thing to me. But you know what? It has them and it has a great downswing, so it's one of those things I gotta remember it has, because it's terrifying. You're probably gonna see a lot of me missing shots today, because I'm generally not that good at ranged suits. It's why I try to use stuff that is better at close ranges. The Gigan is weird because ultimately it is a support type that is better with a distance, but like it's got tools for mid-range and really good ones at that. It's weird. Again, it has balancers. But unfortunately, we're gonna fail our tackle. We're gonna get a little bit surrounded. We're gonna get ripped apart here. We got close, but not close enough. You got to see that great downswing, too. That, like, lunging forward downswing. It's fantastic. I don't know why they put it on this thing, of all things. It doesn't even have a melee weapon. It's just punching with its claw. It's wild, and I love it. So, yeah, suit I definitely don't take out enough. Suit that I need to get good with, particularly that cannon, because that's really where its main damage comes from. Like, the Gatling gun is good, and it'll chew through armor, but that cannon deals the most damage and has the most range on it. So really, as a support, that's what you're wanting to use the most. Like, you can see there, the individual hits from the Gatling gun, they're fine. But they're not absolutely destroying people the way you can destroy people once you start getting good hits with the gun. That was a terrible shot. Don't know what I was thinking there. Yeah, see there, those hits. That's the machine gun there, and you can see it's got a pretty decent range for something with that serves the same... I can't believe that hit. That's fantastic. Splash damage, everyone. That's why you also have to be very careful with things that use cannons. We got a kill there, too, which is fantastic. I was saying something. What was I saying? Oh, my thought train ran away from me. Yeah, so as I said, cannon good. Get good with cannon, because it's your actual main damage dealer. Gatling's good for picking things off. It's good for... Oh, right! Splash damage. Splash damage can stun allies, so get used to that. Be careful with it. One of the biggest issues I have as a support is shooting around allies. That's, you know, why it's good to get higher vantage points so you can shoot over their heads, but you've got big guns that need to shoot from a distance that, unfortunately, are good at stunning your allies. So just be careful as a support type to not just trip your entire team. Right here, you can see we're all doing a pretty good job of backing each other up. I haven't shot anybody in the back yet. They've been attacking all the enemies pretty well. I'm engaging the enemy support here. Looks like they are a Zaku heavy arms type. I'm going to get... Yeah, I think that's what that is with the leg missiles there. I actually want to take mine out more. I don't see them very often. I really like mine. It's got the... Well, it can use a couple different things, but what he's using there is the Magella Top Cannon. Named such because they literally took the top of a Magella tank and turned it into a cannon. It's a really good rifle, though. The funny thing, though, is in this game, it does less than the actual Magella Top tanks that you can find on some of the maps. It does more Did I say it does less damage? The one that the mobile suits carry does a lot more damage than the tank on the map, which is something I think is a little bit weird. It's just a little bit weird. But anyway, you can see we're all bunched up in this choke point here. I don't really like when we end up bunched up here. I feel like this is one of those situations where instead of all just aiming up the choke point, we really see, and you can see someone is actually doing that. You need to get up over that ridge to the left there and do some proper flanking maneuvers to break up the enemy team. Because you end up with this problem where they can't really push through there really easily, and neither can we. So there's this almost back and forth stalemate that just doesn't really help either side until somebody pushes through and breaks the enemy lines. Which the best way to do that is going up that extra corridor. There are technically 3 lanes to get through, but the other one takes way too long, and it puts you in the very rear, but it just takes way too long to do. But you can see you've got, I should do map analysis at some point as well. You've got 2 lanes to go into those locations that are both choke points, but it forces the enemy team to split their attention. And if all their attention is on one choke point instead of the other, you can get 1 or 2 guys through to break the enemy force, and then your allies can just charge their way through the choke point and get in close and completely disrupt the enemy position. But I'm going to stop that conversation here so we can focus on what I'm doing, which is shooting people with the Gatling gun. Woo! Oh, we're in a 350. Cool. Yeah, this is a low-cost suit, by the way. In case you couldn't guess by the fact I'm fighting Zaku's. And oh, wow, we've got an entire Xeon team. I didn't even notice that at the time. No, I don't know them all just by their profile pictures. Or their icons. Let me see. That's an Act Zaku. I do not know what the one on the top... You know what? I think that is a Zaku... I think that's a Haimo Zaku. Number 1 is using. I think that's what that is. I can't see what 2's got. 3 is the Act Zaku. 5 is the... FS, I want to say. I'm not completely sure. I don't have all the faces memorized. In the end of the day, it's all Zaku's that have had their colors monochromed, so it's hard to really figure out which one's which for me. Other than, of course, like the Act Zaku, which has a very distinctive look to it. 2 still has not. What are they doing? I've been waiting for them to spawn back in so I can look at their icon. But as you can see, we've been doing really good, so even if they don't spawn back in, this is pretty much 1 at this point. I think they can probably still make it back, but they have to all push in and really put in a really strong effort to do so. Which they're doing a good job of keeping me at bay. I have to pull back here, but they're not going to push in hard enough to really do much of anything. So that's the end of that match. And as you can see from watching the stats, we took that one home. Let me see. I want to spot what... Oh, you know what? No, that wasn't the Haimo Zaku. That was a... Okay, so number 2 was in the F2. The one I was thinking about before is... It's a Shezram? I don't remember the name. It's the one that has the weird... It's got an arm on its chest that, like, punches. It's cool, and you know what I'm talking about if you've used it. It's, like, on a wire, so it launches out. It's neat. Regardless, Gigan's fun. You should use the Gigan if you have it. It's ugly, but it's cool. Like a lot of mobile suits, actually. Like the Humberby and the Bayerland. Which, speaking of which, I gotta get a Bayerland. I've got... Anyways, we'll have more in the future. You'll see. Yeah, so thanks for tuning in. We will see you again next time.